Hello and welcome back to my 1966 Morris Minor. This is a follow-up video to the last one in which I changed the timing chain. And this video it's going to be take it out for a test drive and see what happens. Now we know it runs, we know it does mostly what it's meant to do. I'm not expecting any great performance improvements. Maybe I should have put a high lift cam in. Hopefully this is going to have less interruptions than the last video, by nature. Oh, give it a rest. But without further ado, let's take it out for a spin. Welcome to Badger Lodge Garage. So for a start, the idle is much smoother and there's less of that annoying sort of popping and juddering that you get from the exhaust. There was always an underlying sort of, it was almost a misfire, but it was sort of a gentle pop as it was idling. That's pretty much gone, though you can't hear that when we're driving along. But power-wise, there is not a great deal of difference. I did adjust the distributor because it had been tuned by me by ear to make it run as good as it could be. This road is terrible, as good as it could have done for the stretched timing chain. So obviously we're putting a new one in, it's tightened everything back up again, so I had to adjust the timing, but I just did it by ear, to be honest. Just, you know, turned the thing in one direction or the other. I can't, was it retarded or advanced with a timing chain and the geometry, tightening, spin. I turned it until it sounded okay. General rule of thumb of adjusting ignition timing on one of these, or a standard, if you haven't got a test light, and you can do it by ear quite easily. You adjust it till you get maximum RPM at idle. Engine's hot, by the way. And then you can take it for a drive and plant your foot down in top gear going up a hill. And if you get a bit of knocking or pre-ignition, you know you've gone too far advanced, back it off a bit and try it again. This is one of those blind bends that it's a constant swooping curve. That there could be anything from pedestrians. Oh my god, that was a crater, that wasn't a pothole. But moving on, yes, if you leave your distributor clamp just slightly snug, so it's going to stay there while you're moving, but you can still go around and grab it and twist it. That's how I found the easiest way, just to dial it in a little bit. Take it for a drive. Do you get good power? Yes. Do you not get pinking or knocking? No. Then you're not going to be far off. Of course, if you want to do it properly, you put a timing light on it and see what what it's meant to be in the book, which I can't actually remember off the top of my head because that's how often I look at the book. I should add that if you do want to get into the world of old cars, do get a book. Don't just ignore it like I do. I have got all the relevant information, and when you're starting out, that is invaluable to be able to at least start to know what you're doing and get it right. Try not to squash any people walking. Oh, there's loads of them. Roadkill. So the Morris Minor itself, this is a 1966 with the 1098cc engine. So this is the biggest engine they put in these. So it's sort of just about 1.1. And it's not a sports car by any stretch of the imagination. It is sedate, but progressive, I think you'd say. You can make good progress in this car. In today's traffic, they're fine, you know. They get up and go with enough gusto to keep the people behind you happy. You do just have to, you know, pin it sometimes, and you know you'll get moving. Tell you what, there are people everywhere around here at the moment. It's like between that and dead badgers all over the ground, it's an obstacle course. Back to where I was. This engine produces some horsepower, can't remember what it is. Google it, basically. I think it's something, it's like 30, 40, I genuinely can't remember. I used to know these things, but it's sort of wafted away out of my head. Oh my word. Not being funny, if I went down that one, I think I would have come out in China. It's like pothole central around here. They're not even potholes, they're mine shafts. But an example of this engine, though it's not the most horsepowery, I'm putting up this hill in 4th and it's just chugging away up there. We're doing 30 and I could probably carry on accelerating and it'll do it. And on windy country roads like this, it's brilliant. It's got rack and pinion steering, torsion bar, independent front suspension and a live rear axle. So it really darts about. You think of cars from the 60s and you think of a big old boat that wallows around a corner. It's not this. The only thing that these do is on cross-ply tyres like this, the grip is limited. So you can quite easily lose the back end, and in my case I don't think that's a bad thing. Some people don't like that very much at all. But if you want to learn how to drive rear-wheel drive cars and want to chuck one around on a track, this is a great place to learn. The slightest waft of moisture on the roads, you pin it round a roundabout doing 10, 15 miles an hour even. The back end's going to go. And you've got to be able to save yourself, because otherwise you're facing the wrong way round on a roundabout. So that's why I don't put radials on. You can get the correct radials or something vaguely similar for these, but I've stuck with the cross plies just because it just adds a bit of danger, a bit of thrill. I mean, but on a dry day like it is now, it's fine. You can hurl it around the bends. Did a bit of a Dukes of Hazzard there, got air. You've got plenty of grip for the size of the car. Avoiding the craters for the local council I haven't been bothered to fix. So has the timing chain made any difference whatsoever to how it drives? Not really. It does exactly the same as it did before, which is just be a reliable, fairly pleasant place to be. But now I know that it's not just about a shed of timing chain through the side of the timing cover. But at least now I'm not so annoyed with the amount of noise that comes out of it. Just every time you pull up a set of traffic lights, you'd have this sort of jingly rattle, and it was just sort of, it didn't sound right, you know. And for clarification, the timing chain on one of these A-series engines will rattle forever without going bang or causing any major grief, really. It's not like a cam belt that you have to get changed at its interval, otherwise you can cause catastrophic failure. But it is sensible, once it gets that rattly, to start changing it, because it's still a mechanical thing at the end of the day. And once it's got more rattle and movement in it, it's going to wear more and more and more until eventually it could ping off or snap. Drives exactly the same as it did before, which has been boringly reliable, to be honest, and that's to be expected from one of these cars. There's not many people that will disagree with the reliability and longevity of a Morris Minor. They do just tend to rust, as do most cars of the 1960s. Not quite as bad as cars of the 1970s though, but we don't talk about the 70s. But most importantly, I can't see where I'm going. That's just guess and hope. There's a stream running down. This has not even rained. You can see fishes. The locals drive like complete maniacs. Can you see around the bend? No. Should we drive at 90? Yes. Possibly a bit quick through there. And this is the sort of car that when you drive it, it just brings a smile to your face, and that is the crucial part. That's the most important thing about motoring. You do whatever you want to do, as long as it makes you happy. And as long as you're not driving a death trap, is also quite useful as well. You know, brakes and suspension are quite useful. So I think we shall bring this video to an end, a shorter one than the last epic. But thank you very much for watching. If you want to like and subscribe, go for it. But you don't have to. This is a free country, do what you like. But if you did enjoy, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in a future video. Thank you very much.